June 2009 was a fateful day for the young and ambitious Cristiano Ronaldo. It was on this day that Ronaldo, a player who had made quite a name for himself playing in England for Manchester United, signed with one of the greatest football clubs on the planet for an unprecedented sum of 80 million euro. And the club that signed him? Well, it was none other than Real Madrid FC, a club of world renown and prestige with a rich history of some of the most legendary players to ever compete in the beautiful game. Ronaldo was a prodigy with great potential when he joined the club, and over the course of his star-studded journey with Los Merengues, his potential blossomed. He cemented his legacy as one of the greatest players of all time, and he received more accolades than one can count on their fingers. In the process, he became the world's most famous athlete and transcended his status as a soccer legend, effectively becoming a cultural icon.
Ronaldo! Go!
Exactly 5 years later, during the summer of 2014, my own personal journey as a Madridista began when a friend of mine gave me a copy of FIFA 14 on the PS3. I spent hours upon hours playing the game, and 90% of the time I played as Real Madrid because they were just so good. A few hundred FIFA matches later, I became really interested in the team, and ever since then I have watched numerous Clásicos, Madrid derbies, and Champions League matches, and I'm still going strong on my journey as a Madridista up till today. Unfortunately, we can't say the same for Ronaldo. His journey with Los Blancos came to an end in 2018 after transferring to the Italian giants Juventus. So the question arises, if we assume that Real Madrid won't sign any new Galacticos for a while, can the current lineup of players perform at the same level without Ronaldo? Well, I believe that Real Madrid's current squad has suffered a permanent loss with CR7's departure, because they lost one of the greatest football players of all time, and they did so while being completely unprepared to provide a decent replacement. Additionally, I believe that they won't be able to play at the same level because we can see the impact that CR7's departure has had on Los Blancos just by looking at their lackluster recent performances. Cristiano Ronaldo was without a doubt Real Madrid's goal-scoring machine. Over the course of his 9 years at the club, he scored 450 goals in 436 matches, effectively making him the club's all-time leading goal scorer, according to Goal.com. He averaged more than 1 goal per game, and more than 40 goals per season, which is an insane number. And that's not all. He also had an uncanny ability to score goals at the most crucial times to bring the team back from the brink of defeat all the way to victory. Ronaldo was a natural leader, a leader without an armband. Whether it was in the locker room or on the field, his winning mentality rubbed off on the other players, and his presence always encouraged the rest of the team to keep on pushing their limits. He also had an intimidating presence on the field that struck fear into the hearts of opposing teams. And now that he's gone, he left behind an enormous void that unfortunately cannot be filled by anyone currently on the team. In terms of goal-scoring abilities, nobody on the team even comes close to being able to reproduce Ronaldo's numbers. After Cristiano left, all eyes were on Gareth Bale, who was Real Madrid's most expensive purchase and the team's second superstar. He was supposed to be the most eligible candidate to step up and become Ronaldo's successor, now that he doesn't have to play in his shadow anymore. But don't get me wrong, Bale is a talented player who has proven himself many times. However, the issue is that Bale gets injured a lot. Matter of fact, he's so injury prone that he earned himself the harsh nickname Mr. Glass from the Spanish press. According to information on Transfer Market, Bale has been injured for an incredible 69 games, which translates to 343 days ever since he became a Galactico in 2013. And to make matters worse, he had only managed a mere total of 21 goals during the entire 2017-2018 season, and had recently went through the worst goal drought of his entire career with Real Madrid, failing to score a single goal in 10 consecutive La Liga games. Furthermore, Gareth Bale lacks the leadership qualities that Ronaldo had, according to former Galactico veteran Predrag Mijatovic. Mijatovic also said, quote-unquote, "It's a shame about Bale. I like him, but he's nowhere near being a leader at a team like Real Madrid after Cristiano's exit. It is worrying that he injures himself so often," end quote. Well, what about the main striker Karim Benzema, the final member of the BBC strike force and one of Real Madrid's go-to guys? Well, the problem with Benzema is that even though he is a striker and his job is to net goals, he kind of forgot how to score goals due to being conditioned over the years to play a supportive role to Ronaldo and Bale, and to put the team above himself rather than put himself on center stage. This proved to be a very successful strategy when Ronaldo was around, But now that he's gone and Bale is injured, Benzema is forced to be the goal provider. Benzema can't score all these goals on his own because he's just not accustomed to that style of play anymore, and because he doesn't even have the right mindset to begin with for scoring goals, having said so himself that goals aren't everything. According to Transfer Market, Benzema and Bale have 33 goals combined for the 2017-2018 season, which is 11 goals less than Ronaldo, who scored 44 goals for that particular season. You're probably asking yourself then, what about the rest of the team? Well, that brings us to our next issue. The rest of the team is aging. The average age of Real Madrid's starting 11 this season is 28 years and 10 days, which is one of the oldest in the whole league. According to ESPN, footballers generally attain their peak performance levels at age 26, with slight variations between those who play different positions. And according to the Professional Footballers Association, the average age of retirement for a football player is 35 years old. Marcelo is 30, Karim Benzema is 31, Sergio Ramos is 32, and Luka Modric is 33 years old. And on top of all that, Bale and Toni Kroos are mere months away from turning 30. These are the players that make up the very backbone of Real Madrid's starting 11. They're the foundation on which the team stands, and they're all past their primes and moving quickly towards the end of their careers. This shows us that nobody on the team right now can replace CR7. Now, if we look at Los Blancos' performances through the season, things have not been looking too great. It's clear that the team is going through some post-Ronaldo struggles. The first stat that illustrates the struggle that Los Merengues have been facing is that they went through a 5-match losing streak and a record-breaking goal drought. They played 4 games, which is about 400 minutes, without hitting the back of the net once. The goal drought started off with a 3-0 loss to Sevilla, followed by a 0-0 tie to Atletico, then a 1-0 defeat to CSKA Moscow, and finally a 1-0 loss to Alaves. The last time something like this happened was in 1985 when they went 5 games without scoring. In contrast, things were much different with Ronaldo. In all of his 9 years with Real Madrid, the team never went even 3 games without a goal. Unfortunately, things only got worse from there. After suffering a 5-1 thrashing by rivals FC Barcelona on October 28th, Julen Lopetegui, the Real Madrid manager, was sacked and replaced temporarily by Santiago Solari due to the team's poor performances. The midfielder Casemiro was quoted to have said that the defeat to Barcelona was the image of our season and called the team a disaster. 2 weeks later, they broke another record, but not a good one. Los Blancos suffered their worst ever home defeat in Europe by losing 3-0 to CSKA Moscow once again. Only halfway into the La Liga season, and Real Madrid had already lost 6 matches out of 18 played, and in the previous season when Ronaldo was around, they only lost 6 matches in the entire season. Another stat that is unsettling is that around the beginning of the new year, Messi and Suarez had scored 28 goals combined, while Real Madrid as a team had only scored 26 goals, which is incomprehensible for a team of Real Madrid's caliber. And finally, as of February 16, 2019, Real Madrid sits 3rd in La Liga, 9 points behind rivals FC Barcelona, who currently sit at the top. All these misfortunes happened right after Ronaldo left, and it's not a coincidence that they did. Some may argue that Los Merengues have been improving recently and they just need some more time to get things right. And I agree with this. It's totally normal that a team will not perform at its best after losing such an important player. And Los Blancos' most recent performances have been promising. However, my point still stands because even though Real Madrid have enjoyed improvements in their form, they're still not as effective as they were with Ronaldo last season. For an example, in the span of 23 La Liga matches last season, Real Madrid won 13 matches, lost only 4, tied 6, and scored 55 goals. In the same amount of La Liga matches this season, they won 14 games, they lost 6, they tied 3, and scored only 40 goals. Overall, their performance isn't as good as the previous season. They lost more games and scored less goals, even if they won one more match, which proves my point. It hurts me to say this as a Real Madrid fan, but the numbers don't lie. At the end of the day, the current team of Galacticos minus Ronaldo are still a world-class team, but they're not on the same level after Cristiano's departure. Currently, nobody on the team can fill in the hole left behind by the former winger, and on top of that, The very heart of the team is made up of veterans who are aging quite considerably and moving towards the end of their respective careers. Furthermore, ever since the Portuguese ace left, the Spanish giants have been going through numerous struggles and have faced many difficulties. With Ronaldo's leave comes the end of an era for Los Blancos. And things may be looking bleak at the moment, but these are exciting times because it's the beginning of a new era. More than ever, Los Blancos need to rebuild and prepare themselves for the beginning of this new era. They need new talent on the team, such as their recent signing of the brilliant Brazilian youngster Vinicius Jr., and with a lot of excellent potential players to be acquired, such as the likes of Neymar Jr. or wonder kid Kylian Mbappe, things are certainly looking bright.